The two dishes that we will be making represents desserts from Japan and the USA. From Japan, we will be making mochi ice cream, which is a small round dessert ball consisting of a soft pounded sticky rice cake formed around an ice cream filling. The ice cream flavors the confection while the mochi adds sweetness and texture. The dessert representing the US is Rice Krispie Treats. This treat was first introduced in 1993 and it contains bunches of Krispies fused together by a marshmallow coating. This is a popular treat that often makes an appearance at birthday parties and events. The sweet flavor of the marshmallows with Rice Krispies combined with the creamy and crunchy taste of M&Ms is tasty. Japan consists of several thousands of islands and its closest neighbors are Korea, Russia, and China. Due to the large north-south extension of the country, the climate varies strongly in different regions. The climate in most of the cities, including Tokyo, is temperate to subtropical and consists of 4 seasons. The winter is mild and the summer is hot and humid. There is a rainy season in early summer and typhoons hit part of the country every year during late summer. Fish was a major source of food for the Japanese due to the vast ocean surrounding it. Then, in the Yayoi period, the cultivation of rice was introduced and became yet another vital food staple. Rice was abundant mainly because of the mild and humid climate, perfect for growing rice. However, only a mere 15% of the land is flat enough for farming. The mountainous terrain not only made it hard to farm and travel, but it also separated the Japanese civilizations.
Mochi works well with both savory and sweet recipes. It is mostly a blank canvas for herbs, spices, vinegar, fruits, and vegetables. You can place almost anything you want in mochi, although you mostly see it in dessert dishes because there is mostly a natural sweetness to it. You can add green onions to mochi and pound them into pancakes and pan fry. You can also knead them into balls or cut them into cubes as a dumpling used in soups. For instance, mochi is great in naturally sweet squash soup or savory chicken noodle soup. Mochi can also be topped by herbs and spices. For example, sakura mochi is a perfect example of a Japanese delicacy using a pickled sakura leaf, which is a seasonal herb used to add a salty tang to food.
It is known that every celebration or festival has traditional food involved in it. For Japan, one of the main 2 celebrations are New Year's and Dolls Festival. For New Year's, 2 main foods are tushikushi soba and ozuno. Tushikushi soba is traditionally eaten on New Year's Eve, and the dish consists of buckwheat noodles in a soup with various toppings. The dish will sometimes be simply garnished with some green onions and sometimes topped with things like tempura nori, egg, or spinach. To some people, noodles are long, symbolizing a long life and represent your wish for continued long life in the next year as well. Ozuno, it is a soup dish that is traditionally eaten on New Year's Day. The dish usually consists of chicken and different vegetables. And for the Dolls Festival, it is celebrated in March. It is also one of their 5 seasonal festivals. It began in the early 1600s as a way to ward off evil spirits. It was thought that dolls would act as good luck charms. It is to celebrate female children and pray for their continued health and happiness. Foods include chirashi sushi, which is typically eaten on this day because it is colorful and pretty and perfect for this tradition. Some make it into a cake. Then there is tamari sushi, strawberry daifuku, and hishimochi, which is a diamond-shaped rice cake that are dyed in the colors of the festival, pink, white, and green.
People are predominantly Buddhist and Shinto. They don't really eat meats. Most of their meals consist of vegetables and vegetarian dishes. On the other hand, America is made.
The US borders both the North Atlantic and North Pacific Oceans and is bordered by Canada and Mexico. It is the 3rd largest country in the world by area and has a varied topography. The eastern regions consist of hills and low mountains, while the central interior is a vast plain. And the west also has high rugged mountain ranges. Like its topography, the climate of the US also varies depending on location. It is considered mostly temperate but is tropical in Hawaii and Florida. Its climate is favorable to agriculture due to infrequent severe drought in the major agriculture regions, a general lack of widespread flooding, and a mainly temperate climate that receives adequate precipitation. Grains, particularly wheat, make up a large part of the American diet. And corn, wheat, soybeans, cotton, and hay account for 90% of harvested acreage in the United States. These are grown both for animal feed and for human consumption.
There's a diverse variety of spices that reflect the history of cuisine in America. As time progressed, the more developed food became, which led to an array of spices and herbs that we use today, like basil, bay leaf, chives, cilantro, cinnamon, cloves, cumin, etc., etc. These spices are popular because they are used in numerous dishes that are popular in America, like apple pie, which uses cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, cloves, and ginger. Clam chowder, which uses onion, cloves, oregano, dried parsley, dill, basil, sage, rosemary, or tarragon. And in hamburgers, they'll use paprika, garlic onion, onion powder, black pepper, ground mustard, and cayenne pepper. In deep dish pizza, they'll use turmeric, cumin, coriander, paprika, garlic powder, dried thyme, crushed cayenne pepper. And in drop biscuits and sausage gravy, they'll use salt and pepper. These dishes, spices, and herbs may vary depending on who's making the dish.
For Thanksgiving, it is said to have its origin in the 1600s. The holiday marks the end of the harvest season. It is usually celebrated with extended family and occasionally also with very close friends. Traditionally, turkey, cranberry sauce, sweet potatoes, pumpkin pie, and other foods of this season are served for huge dinner.
On the other hand, America is made up of all different religions. The country is quite diverse when it comes to culture, but most Americans identify themselves as Christians. But if not a Christian, you are more likely to be Muslim or Jewish. The Muslim and Jewish population is quite smaller than the Christian population in America. This smaller population cannot eat any type of meat. Instead, it must be halal or kosher meat, depending on if you're Muslim or Jewish. For the Christian population, they can usually eat about anything. They do Lent. Lent is a religious ritual in the Christian calendar that begins on Ash Wednesday and ends before Easter Sunday. They cut meats, sweets, and alcohol.